Alright guys, ZFR back here again today, and this is the first time I'm recording a video this early in a long time, but I want to make sure I got this out to you guys today. This is going to be my predictions for the mid-season finale of season 7 of The Walking Dead, and it's supposed to be called Heart Still Beating. This episode is definitely going to be one of the more memorable ones, because one thing is for certain, that they are following the comic book storyline here, and that we are going to see a semi-big death in this episode. Now I'm going to talk about the death and who I think it is. I just want to kind of go over a couple other things first. Now, as we know, Rick and Aaron are still out on that run, so they're not going to get back until way later in the episode, I don't think, or at least midway through. And don't forget that this is a 90-minute episode, so this episode has an extra 30 minutes tacked on to it, so it's going to be longer, just like the last one we had. So yeah, Rick and Aaron aren't going to get back, and Rick is definitely not going to be happy to come back and see that somebody has died, which I do think is going to happen before he gets back. Plus, to see Negan possibly holding Judith. I really hope they do the thing where Negan's holding Judith when Rick comes back. I really want to see Rick's reaction to that kind of thing. But yeah, I'm excited to see all that when Rick returns, how he deals with it, because if I remember in the comic correctly, something very interesting, something else very big and very interesting could happen this episode. Rick may finally step out and challenge Negan a little bit this episode, if it's anything like the comics, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I don't think so, because the way the story is set up, I just don't think it's going to happen this time around, like, because there's a few other things that haven't been set up yet. But they could do it. They could possibly do it. And I don't know. We'll have to see how that would turn out. There's the stuff with Michonne driving to the sanctuary. A lot of people say they think she's going to be the one to run into either Jesus or Aaron. Not Jesus or Aaron, but Jesus or Daryl. Because don't forget, Daryl got slipped the key. And I do think the White is the one that slipped him that key. Everybody's saying all these other people. It's either the White or Sari, alright? Like, it's either one of those two. And if I'm being honest, knowing the White's storyline and the direction that's going, I think it's the White, alright? Like, I think the White finally had enough of Negan. He had to watch the ironing again right after he got his face ironed. He's had enough. He's going to start, you know, kind of challenging Negan also. I mean, look at what Negan was doing in the last episode, practically teasing him with his own wife right in front of dude. That's messed up. So yeah, I think that was the White that slipped him the note. And yes, I do think Daryl is escaping this episode. There's no way that they're keeping Daryl locked up with the Saviors all the way through All Out War. There's no way. So he's gotta escape either this episode or sometime soon. I think this episode is the right time to do it. I do not think he's going to go back to Alexandria, because think about it, they'll go there, they'll see him, they'll find him. Like, the only place I can really think that he's going to be safe at is the kingdom, because think about it, the Saviors don't actually go into the kingdom. They meet Ezekiel and some of his men outside of the kingdom. So if Daryl managed to get to the kingdom, they would be all good. That's why a lot of people are saying they think he's going to run into Jesus, so Jesus can take him there and he'll reunite with Carol and Morgan, because we know we're going to see those two again this episode. We know we're seeing the kingdom this episode. So that'll be pretty awesome if he runs right back into Carol, because you know Carol and Dale fans, that'll be a cool little moment for them. But yeah, I do think we're going to see Daryl escape, and my guess is he is going to end up at the kingdom. I'm guessing Jesus is going to take them there, or Michonne's going to run into Jesus, and they're going to run into Daryl, and then freaking they're going to take Daryl there. And I'm guessing Michonne's going to have to kill this lady savior at some point. Like, some people say they can't see her doing it. She's going to have to. Like, there's not going to be much of a choice. Either that, or they take her prisoner, you know, at the kingdom, because you can't take, like I just said, you can't take her to the hilltop of Alexandria, because when the saviors go there, they go up inside there and look around. So that wouldn't be a good idea. And there goes my phone going off. But anyway, so that's a bunch of interesting stuff that could happen next episode. We could see the survivors finally connect with the kingdom, like the main group. Who knows? By the end of this episode, this goes back to what I was talking about when I'm saying Rick might kind of rebel towards the end of this episode. That's a possibility. I don't know. But if one thing's for sure, if the kingdom gets involved in the situation or ends up heading towards Alexandria, because you do see that Morgan is trying to convince Richard of something, who is like the main, the second in command at the kingdom or whatever. So like I'm guessing Morgan's trying to convince them to meet up with Alexandria and work together, you know, to come against the saviors. And if that happens, we've got some crazy stuff that'll happen at the end of this episode. I'm not saying anything more. It's either going to be the end of this episode, or it might be the beginning of next episode. I hope they don't cliffhanger us again on this garbage, but yeah, we might get something like that. Now moving on to the part everybody cares about. I was getting ready to say kills about, but everybody cares about the big death that's supposed to happen this episode. Now I'm going to say it right off the bat. All right, I'm going to say it right now. The most likely to get it is Spencer. Like, he's the one that got in the comics. I don't find that to be that big of a spoiler. I feel like a lot of people hate him anyway. I'm not going to say how he ends up getting the death, because I feel like that's a spoiler, but he might get it. Like, I'm pretty sure he's going to be the one. They've been setting him up to get it in the last few episodes. They've really been just setting him up for this. People already hate his guts and stuff. I think this is the time to do it. Now, a lot of people are saying it could also be Rosita, because she's really thinking about assassinating Negan with this one bullet, which is a very, like Eugene was trying to tell her. Eugene was actually really right. Like, her plan is really freaking stupid. Like, what are you going to do? Kill Negan with one bullet, and what's going to happen? The saviors are going to kill everyone, or they're definitely not only going to hurt you. There's no way. We already see how their punishment system works. They don't hurt they don't hurt the same person that messes up. Look what happened when Daryl punched Negan. He killed Glenn. So yeah, like that is a really stupid plan. But it could possibly backfire on her. She could, maybe, I don't know, miss the shot somehow. Maybe some saviors grab her before she gets the shot off or something. And, you know, she gets the death. Although Rosita is supposed to have some more story with another character later on, I'm not going to spoil that. But I don't really know. They could remix that a little bit, because I'm kind of been thinking, and if you're a fan of the comic book, you know what I'm suggesting. I'll even make a separate video on this guy. I think this is a possibility. Tara's still around. What if, just what if, I'm just throwing it out there, if she got that character's storyline. Because I really feel like if Rosita doesn't die this episode, I feel like she's definitely taking a comic book Harley's storyline. I feel like Rosita's going to die this season or next season. I feel like that's coming. I just feel like they're setting her up for it more than anybody else. I feel like they're setting her up for comic book Harley. It's just there. Although I do think it's possible Terra could be taking some of Rosita's storyline later on if they want to do some interesting stuff with Terra. I know some people are going to say that's not going to work for a very specific reason. Like I said, I'm going to make a different video kind of giving my thoughts on. I think they could do it. Who knows, you know. But anyway, that's really all I have to say about this episode. I think it's just going to be a really awesome episode. Those are all my predictions. I don't think we're going to see too much outside of Alexandria. I think Alexandria is going to be the main focus of this episode. Although we will see a little bit of what Rick and Eren are doing. We'll see a little bit of what Michonne is doing. We'll see a little bit of the Kingdom, and we'll definitely see a little bit of Daryl. So it's definitely not going to be a bottle episode for people who hate those. But it's definitely going to be, you know, one of those episodes that's focused more on a certain point, but just with a few other things sprinkled in there, which is what the fan base seems to like more, so that's great. Anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave likes and comments down below. Really help me out with that. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you really enjoyed. Just a little thing I'm throwing out there. I've actually realized why my videos have been coming out shaky recently, and I've tried to fix that. I think I have fixed it. So yeah, sorry if that's been happening with you. It's just something on YouTube. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys on the next video. ZFR out.